Okay, so now let's talk about the four different ways that I want you to manipulate these type forms or these letter forms. They can represent objects like the seahorse that I mentioned earlier, or you could, try and draw a leaf or something, or integrate an object into it if you want to, or you can try and just customize and make a really unique, cool looking letter form. Um, so let's start with the first one here. And what I want to do is just take um, my direct select, and I can take these points here and I can rubber band select over points and move them that way. Okay. Okay, so maybe something like that. But I'd want to be really careful so that this is really even. Um, Kind of looks like a cool type of, I don't know, spearhead or something. Okay, and if you take like these little uh, handles right here and move those, you can manipulate the curve a little more. Okay. If you want to draw a little more detail in there, you can take your pencil tool. Okay. Actually, let me just go down the line here. To manipulate and customize these even further, the first thing that you'll want to know is that you can take the direct select and grab points, individual points and lines, right? So we've talked about that. And then let's go further down and let's go to the pen tool right here. And the pen tool allows me to hover over lines and add points. Okay, and why would I want to add points? Well, I might want to add detail, right? So that's why I'd want to add points. So now that I've added points with the pen tool, I can go back to my direct select and move those points. Okay, I don't like that. I was just trying to show you something. If I wanted to draw a little mouth right here, it's kind of looking a little bit like a dragon, or make the ears pointier. Okay, like that. Maybe draw a little mouth. I need to add a couple of points. So I'll take my pen tool, add a couple points this way, and then take my direct select and grab one of those points. It's like Phineas and Ferb Dragon or something. But you get the point. I can use that pen tool to add points there to move around more points and add detail. Another way to add detail, I'm going to undo all of these. Okay. Is to use the pencil tool to draw that detail. So the pencil tool is right here. If I hold this one down, sometimes your pencil tool will be already showing. Sometimes it will show as the shaper tool. Just remember that all these tools with this little triangle at the bottom means there's more tools grouped with it. So if I click and hold on this one, I can get the other grouped tools. What I want is the pencil tool. And the pencil tool will allow me to manipulate and to draw more details also. I need to look at the pencil tool options though. So to do that, I need to double click on the tool. If tools have options, you double click on the tool. So watch this. I'll double click on the pencil tool. And I can change the way that the pencil works. So fidelity means if I take the pencil tool and I move it very carefully and try and put in all these little details, I can make set the fidelity to accurate so that it really records exactly what I'm doing, exactly what I'm drawing. But let's say that I'm using a mouse to draw and I might be kind of shaky and a little bit inaccurate. I might want to keep that fidelity over here so that the computer will smooth out my shaky hand or these mistakes that I'm making with my mouse, okay? Or if I'm really trying to draw a smooth line, I can go all the way over here to smooth, okay? And so when I draw with the pencil tool, in fact, let me just go accurate, and I'll draw like all these little details here. Okay, look at all those points and details with the pen tool. I'm going to delete that with the pencil tool. I'll change it all the way to smooth, and now I'll try and do all these little details, and it smoothed it out. Notice there's a considerable, there's considerably less points. Okay, so even when I put those details, it smooths it out. All right. Now also with the pencil tool, you can say edit selected pass. So what that means is if there's already an object drawn and I have edit selected pass selected right here, then I can manipulate some already drawn objects. So watch what I mean. I'm going to keep edit selected pass, put this back on average fidelity, and it will edit selected paths that are within 6 pixels of where I draw. So I'll hit OK. All right. Now I want to manipulate this letter form and redraw some of the lines on it with this pencil tool, but I have to select it first. So I'll click on it. Okay. Then I'll grab my pencil tool, and to redraw this line, let's say I wanted kind of a dragon ear like this. Okay. That's redrawing those lines with the pencil tool because I had edit selected paths picked on the tool options. Edit selected paths. So this whole letter form is selected. If I draw within 6 pixels of that line and try and begin and end on the same line, it'll redraw it. Okay, so you got to be careful. If I'm clear out here, it's not going to edit that letter form. Okay, but if I'm like right here, it will edit that letter form. And if I kind of go funky and it doesn't know where I'm trying to end, it doesn't know what to do either. So then you just undo and start over again. All right, so see, it really didn't know what to do right there because I didn't end on a line either. All right. Okay, so I can draw something cool there. See, it didn't know what to do, but I did draw some sort of like dragon. Okay. And then if I want to redraw the tail, okay, I can go. What does a dragon tail look like? Not like that, does it? Maybe it looks like this. Or maybe it's just kind of sharp. About like that. Okay. This is going to be a dragon with an S, so maybe the company name would be like Shragon or something. I don't know. But that's what you're going to have to come up with is a name for the company for this icon, quote-unquote icon that you've made. It's kind of fun to just storm these ideas and start from a letter form and just see where your imagination takes you. I think it's bad when you already have like you're trying to stick within these preconceived ideas and then you get really stuck creatively. Just kind of have fun with it and experiment, be random, and then oh, wow, that kind of looks like a dragon. Well, I'll start working on a dragon and then make it a cool dragon, you know? And now I have this dragon form in the letter S. So what could I use as a company name that's a dragon form in a letter S? Shragon. Well, that's super lame, but maybe there's something cooler you can do. All right? And you could also rotate this now, so maybe it's like that. Maybe it looks better like that. Maybe it looks better how it was. Like that. It's up to you. All right, so the first thing I want you guys to do is manipulate this letter form with the pencil tool and draw something really unique and cool. All right, I've taken up a lot of time on this video, so I'm going to end this video and we'll go to what I want you to do for the next letter form.